Oh, good morning. Welcome back to 300 the podcast, the worst podcast on YouTube. I'd like to thank you for stopping by first and foremost. Please like, share, subscribe. You can do that at the bottom. Find me on Instagram. I'm pretty funny. So today we're going to talk about job security and how that really doesn't exist in the NFL. We have Mike Tomlin and Sam Darnold, who are both rumored to be like losing their jobs, which is weird because they both had winning seasons. Imagine winning 14 games in the NFL, right? Having two bad days at work and then potentially losing your job over said bad days. That's like you walking into work, right? Having a moderate day in whatever it is your field is, right? And then your boss saying, you know what? Because of today, that's not going to cut it. No matter what time you put in or how great a year you had, they're just ready to ship you off somewhere else. I've always thought that was weird about the NFL and sports in general. It's like a "what have you done for me lately" world, and I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. So Sam Darnold's got to be really feeling the pressure right now. Not so much Mike Tomlin because I mean he is who he is, and that's more of a boss role that he plays as the coach of the team. But change is hard to do, like in anything, in life, in work, in anything. Change is just hard to do. It's one of those things for us as humans that we just like struggle with no matter what. We can see the potential positive outcome of whatever said change is going to be, and we still will be hesitant to do it. It's just a natural fear that we have, right? So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a position now where they see the writings on the wall. You know, uh, they see that change should come. It's just something that they're struggling with pulling the trigger on. So I remember when Andy Reid coached the Philadelphia Eagles, and that seemed like a never-ending story as well. Definitely not the same circumstances or situation or same coach even, but when they ripped that band-aid off, it ended up being the best thing for both the Chiefs and the Eagles. Hard to then see uh, a future and stuff like that, especially when you've had your coach for I think it's like I don't know how long Mike Tomlin has been over at the Steelers. It might be 13, 14 years or something like that, and then he's never had a losing season. So you look at that resume and you're like, you know what, this is our guy. Like no matter what, even though you see that he's just not the guy. Um, and their quarterback carousel is also dooming them too. There's just a lot to unpack there, especially when other franchises are now coming of age and they're going to be around now, for a while. So to compete, you might have to change some shit. That's just the way it goes. You know, you don't want to keep running into the same brick wall over and over and over again, especially when you're working for one of these storied franchises that feels like it's supposed to be good. I'm a Ravens fan, but I feel like the Steelers are supposed to be in the mix. I want the Steelers in the mix. I want the Steelers to be good so we can beat a good Steelers team. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what they're looking at over at in Pittsburgh. And Sam Darnold is just caught up in his last two games were basically an interview that he just had bad interviews at. Do you move on from him because of that? Like, what are your options? Daniel Jones is on your team. That JJ kid is not. I don't think he's ready at all to then be thrust, into the. He's not Jaden Daniels. You don't just put him in, front and center and then hope to have the same results. So there's just a lot to think about, for these guys. Unfortunately, they're going on vacation now, so they got the time to think about it. That's 300 the podcast. Uh, third episode 14 for today, and I'll be back with another one. You already know.